Hello and welcome. You're watching NDTV 24/7. I'm Osama Shah. The big story that we are tracking at the top of this hour, in a massive setback to Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, the High Court pronounced its verdict dismissing his petition, challenging the governor's permission for prosecution in the MUDA allegations. Now, the court has paved the way for investigation, but a combative chief minister, he hit out calling the BJP, calling it revenge politics and Operation Lotus by the ruling party. The BJP has in fact demanded his resignation. The Special Court for Public Representatives is set to hear the MUDA scam case on Wednesday. My colleague Pratibha Raman tracks the political fallout.
There was no legal reprieve for Karnataka CM Siddaramaiah as the High Court upheld the state governor's decision to allow a probe to proceed against the Chief Minister in the alleged multi-crore MUDA land allotment scam. Dismissing the petition of the Chief Minister challenging the governor's August 17th order, the court said, "There is no doubt that an investigation is needed against the CM. The applicant's family has benefited in this matter. The High Court orders that investigation against Siddaramaiah is necessary." The petitioners in the case hailed the order as a vindication of their stand, and the BJP demanded immediate resignation of the CM.
I am not going to make any political comments on this, because what happens to that? See, my point is to fight corruption. Politics is a different ball game. They will go to the Supreme Court and they will file against this order. We will be informed by the court and we will also approach. We will face it there.
आज राज्य के उच्च न्यायालय कर्नाटका हाई कोर्ट आज के जजमेंट में क्लियरली बताया है, जो भी राज्यपाल ने निर्णय लिया है वो पूरा सही है। तो मुख्यमंत्री जी को इस जजमेंट को मानते हुए तुरंत इस्तीफा देना चाहिए।
A combative CM and the Congress, however, projected a united front while addressing the media, terming this a political conspiracy of the BJP.
I'm not afraid of the conspiracy hatched out by both BJP and JDS. After go through the judgment, I will discuss with the legal experts.
While CM Siddaramaiah, who has been priding himself for having no charges against him in 40 years, has been mulling legal recourse now, the question of morality comes in, with the opposition urging him to resign. With camera person Govind, Pratibha Raman in Bengaluru for NDTV.
Meanwhile, Karnataka Chief Minister Siddaramaiah, he has said that he will not resign and that he has done nothing wrong. Let's listen in to what he had to say.
ಬಹಳ ಜನ ಕಾಯ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ರಾಜೀನಾಮೆ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಸಿದ್ದರಾಮಯ್ಯ ರಾಜೀನಾಮೆ ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾನೆ. ನಾನು ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡೇ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಅದರಿಂದ ರಾಜೀನಾಮೆ ಕೊಡತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಸನ್ನಿವೇಶ ನಿರ್ಮಾಣ ಆಗಲ್ಲ, ರಾಜೀನಾಮೆ ಕೊಡಲ್ಲ. ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕಾ? ಕೊಡ್ಬೇಕೇನ್ರಿ? ಕೊಡಬಾರ್ದು, ಕೊಡಗಿಲ್ಲ. ನಾನೇನು ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡಿಲ್ಲ. ತಪ್ಪು ಮಾಡದೆ ನನ್ನ ಮೇಲೆ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಆರೋಪಗಳನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ. ಅದರಿಂದ ಐ ಆಮ್ ನಾಟ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ರಿಸೈನ್. ಐ ವಿಲ್ ಫೈಟ್ ಪೊಲಿಟಿಕಲಿ.
And father of Akshay Shinde, the man accused of molesting two 4-year-olds in Badlapur who died in police firing, has approached the Bombay High Court seeking probe into the alleged fake encounter. The father sought a fresh special investigation team probe into the case and fake encounter. He claimed that his son was murdered under the garb of shootout. The matter, it has been listed for Wednesday.
Political war of words over the death of the accused in the Badlapur sexual assault case in an alleged retaliatory firing by cops. Akshay Shinde, a school cleaner who was arrested last month for sexually assaulting two 4-year-old girls in their school, was shot dead after he allegedly snatched a gun from a police official and opened fire while being transported from Taloja jail. The opposition has accused the government of foul play, claiming it was a deliberate execution aimed at destroying evidence and protecting other influential individuals involved in the case.
जस्टिस मिलना जरूरी था और जस्टिस मिलने के बाद फांसी देना जरूरी था, लेकिन जो भी कल घटना घड़ी है उसमें काफी सारे प्रश्न हैं। पहला प्रश्न यही है कि क्या आपटे को बचाने के लिए ये एनकाउंटर या खून या जो भी हो वो हुआ है। दूसरी चीज सबसे अहम यही होती है कि जो आंदोलन करते थे, जिन्होंने जिस बात के खिलाफ आंदोलन किया, 7 दिन तक एफआईआर नहीं ली गई थी, वो जो आंदोलन किया उनके खिलाफ जो केसेस दर्ज हुए हैं वो केसेस के पीछे लिए जाएंगे, केसेस विड्रॉ किए जाएंगे।
Countering the allegation, the ruling coalition in the state has defended the action of the police.
जो आरोपी 4 साल की बच्ची पर अत्याचार कर रहा था, लोगों से मांग हो रही थी कि लोग हमें जो है आरोपी हमारे ताबे में दो। आज जहां पर आरोपी पुलिस पे फायरिंग कर रहा था, पुलिस ने सेल्फ डिफेंस में फायरिंग की, तो अब इनको दुख हो रहा है।
Shiv Sena workers even celebrated the death of Badlapur accused Akshay Shinde.
बदलापुर में जो हुआ था कल उसका बदला लिया गया है और मैं इसका पूरी तरह समर्थन करता हूं। मैं ये नहीं कह रहा हूं कि एनकाउंटर कानून है, एनकाउंटर कानून नहीं होता, एनकाउंटर एक अपवाद होता है।
On the pro front, the state government has formed an SIT to probe the case. The SIT is questioning all the officials present in the police vehicle at the time of the incident and have also inspected the spot with the help of forensics department. The post-mortem report is awaited.
स्पेशल टीम के अधिकारियों ने माननीय न्यायालय से ट्रांसफर वारंट लेके वो आरोपी को ये जो नया गुना दाखिल हुआ है उसमें ट्रांसफर करने के लिए तलोजा मध्यवर्ती कारागृह से कल उसको ताबे में लिया था और ताबे में लेके जब वो आ रहे थे थाना की तरफ, तब आरोपी ने पुलिस का रिवॉल्वर छीन के जो पुलिस के साथ पुलिस के ऊपर फायरिंग की। उसके वो सब जो मैटर है उसमें मुमरा पुलिस स्टेशन में पुलिस के ऊपर जानलेवा हमला करने का जो ये था उस पे गुना रजिस्टर किया गया है।
As the opposition continues to question the government over the mysterious circumstances of Shinde's death, the Bombay High Court is set to continue its hearing on the suo motu PIL over the Badlapur sexual assault case next week. It remains to be seen if the court will intervene and call for a judicial probe. Bureau Report, NDTV.
Assembly elections in Jammu and Kashmir are being held after a gap of 10 years. The previous voting record was expected to be broken, but the voting percentage decreased in many assembly constituencies compared to 2014. Will this trend change in the second round? Here's a report.
Will it be the National Conference's red or PDP's green over the Dal Lake? Or can the lotus also bloom in the valley? It will be decided on Wednesday, where the second phase of polling will be held in central Kashmir. It will be in the areas around Srinagar. Of the 26 seats in the second round, 15 of them fall in central Kashmir. Most of these seats are in areas where separatists have an influence. The voting percentage in these areas is often low. These include Khanyar, Zedbal, Lal Chowk, Eidgah Hazratwal. Despite all the efforts in the first phase, only 61% voting was done, whereas in 2014, it was 66% of voting which was recorded in the same areas.
लेकिन अब इतना हैवी नहीं था जितना हम उम्मीद कर रहे थे। अगर आप देखें तो कई सारे ऐसे इलाके हैं जहां 2014 के मुकाबले इस बार कम वोट पड़े, और भी ऐसे इलाके हैं जहां पोलिंग कम हुई है, और इसके बारे में मौजूदा हुकूमत को सोचना चाहिए कि आखिरकार ऐसा क्यों कि 2014 में जबकि वो कहते हैं आज सारा कुछ ठीक है, आज बॉयकॉट भी नहीं है, आज खौफ भी नहीं है, इन सब चीज़ों के बावजूद कई सारे ऐसे इलाके हैं जहां 2014 के मुकाबले इस बार टर्नआउट कम रह चुका है।
But there's hope that things will change in the second phase.
हाँ, बहुत चेंज है, क्योंकि अब ऐसा लग रहा है कि हम वोट अपने लिए कर रहे हैं। अभी तक क्या था, अभी तक पिछले जो कुछ रहा है उसको अगर हम छोड़ दें एक साइड से, लेकिन अभी जो इलेक्शंस आ रहे हैं अभी वोट कर रहे हैं पीपल्स अपने लिए, अपने हक के लिए कर रहे हैं।
अभी यूथ है जो फर्स्ट टाइम वोटर्स है, उनको इस चीज़ से बहुत ही ज़्यादा ये फोकस्ड है कि हम फर्स्ट टाइम अब हम स्टेटहुड के लिए लाइक हम वोट दे रहे हैं। हमारे अब स्टेटहुड के लिए जो पहले प्रॉब्लम्स थी वो हटने वाली है, और क्या क्या नया हो सकता है उसके लिए जो प्रोमिसेस आ रहे हैं कौन कौन फुलफिल कर सकता है, वो एक्चुअली इशू है, क्योंकि अब लोग सोचते हैं उस बारे में।
In the second phase, about 26 lakh voters will decide the fate of 239 candidates. With Neeta Sharma, Bureau Report, NDTV.
Time now for a very short break. More news and updates on the other side. Welcome back. United States President Joe Biden, he addressed the United Nations General Assembly for the last time as the US President. Joe Biden, he spoke about the ongoing conflict between Russia and Ukraine. He says that Ukraine is still free and that US will support Ukraine to help win this war. He also spoke about NATO's role, and he said that NATO is bigger and stronger and more united. Biden also reflected on the current situation in Gaza and said that a full-scale war is not in anyone's interest.
The good news is Putin's war has failed and at his core aim. He set out to destroy Ukraine, but Ukraine is still free. He set out to weaken NATO, but NATO is bigger, stronger, and more united than ever before, with 2 new members, Finland and Sweden. But we cannot let up. The world now has another choice to make. Will we sustain our support to help Ukraine win this war and preserve its freedom, or walk away and let aggression be renewed and a nation be destroyed? I know my answer. We cannot grow weary. We cannot look away. And we will not let up on our support for Ukraine. Not until Ukraine wins a just and durable peace in the UN Charter.
Lebanon says more than 550 of its people have been killed, including 50 children, in Israeli strikes since Monday. Thousands are fleeing southern Lebanon, with families crammed into cars and closed schools being used as makeshift shelters. Meanwhile, Iran has also hinted at retaliation against Israel as the United Nations has called for a ceasefire.
First, the pager blast, then walkie-talkie explosions, and now multiple aerial strikes by Israel into Lebanon. The strikes have killed hundreds of people and left several others injured. Israel has called them preemptive strikes to weaken Hezbollah.
למי שעדיין לא הבין, אני רוצה להעביר את מדיניות ישראל. אנחנו לא מחכים לאיום, אנחנו מקדימים אותו. בכל מקום, בכל זירה, בכל עת. אנחנו מחסלים בכירים, מחסלים מחבלים, מחסלים טילים, ועוד ידנו נטויה.
Israel claims they are targeting Hezbollah commanders and fighters. But it's been a nightmare for civilians of Lebanon who are now struggling with displacement, in a way mirroring what residents in Gaza are going through.
تعذبنا كثير على الترقان، لا قدرنا وصلنا. في ناس قرايبين من اخواتي واخوات مرتي ناموا على الشوارع بعد من لحد هلا مش ملاقيين مأوى. يعني المدارس سكرت مثل منك شايف يعني.
Lebanon is located on the northern border of Israel, and both sides have been targeting civilian areas. Israeli cities of Afula, Haifa, Kiryat Shmona have been under attack. While cities of Baalbek, Beirut and others are under intense aerial attack from Israel. Israel yet again claims that Hezbollah is solely responsible for the situation in Lebanon, as it was hiding weapons and rocket launchers in residential areas.
We provided advance warning to civilians in specific villages in Lebanon where Hezbollah embedded its military assets and weapons, and warned them to move out of harm's way. However, even as we called on civilians to move away from danger, we saw that Hezbollah operatives were doing the opposite and acted to prevent civilian moving safety.
Meanwhile, Iran has also hinted at retaliation against Israel.
As world leaders have gathered for UNGA in United States, all eyes will be whether these leaders manage to achieve a ceasefire deal for what is happening in the Middle East and whether they will be able to restore normalcy in a region which has been on boil for the last 1 year. In Delhi, Mohammad Ghazali for NDTV.
Now, Israel announced conducting dozens of new airstrikes on Hezbollah strongholds in Lebanon just a day after the deadliest bombardment since the 2006 war, which resulted in the deaths of 558 people, including 50 children. The overnight strikes on southern Lebanon came after it said it had killed a large number of militants when it hit about 1,600 suspected Hezbollah targets around the country. Now, Israel has named its operation against Hezbollah Operation Northern Arrows following its announcement earlier this month that it would shift its focus from Gaza to Lebanon. My colleague Maria Shakil, she spoke to Reuven Azar, Israel ambassador to India. Listen in.
Reuven Azar is ambassador of Israel to India. Thank you so much for taking time out and coming to NDTV studio. Ambassador Azar, after 500 lives were lost in Lebanon, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu had reached out to the Lebanese people and he had said that they should not become human shields for the Hezbollah. But the question is the number of civilian casualties is very high, both in Gaza and in Lebanon. Why are they becoming collateral in this prolonged war?
Well, Maria, thank you for this interview. What is happening in Lebanon right now is that in the last 48 hours, we targeted more than 1,700 military targets, and most of them were embedded inside the homes of civilians in southern Lebanon. What Hezbollah has done in the last few years is a double war crime. They have been embedding their missiles inside the homes of people to conceal them from Israel, and they have been firing indiscriminately at civilians in northern Israel from these installations. So what Israel had to do is to take out, we have gathered meticulously intelligence about these locations in the last few years, and fortunately we've been able to target and to destroy thousands of missiles that were in those areas. Now, the families that were living there are some of them that didn't evacuate on time, despite the fact that we called them by phone, we intercepted their radio communications, we tried in any way possible to take them out of harm's way. Despite that fact, yes, there were some civilians that were killed as well.
You know, we have seen pagers and other devices explode in Lebanon, and Hezbollah has blamed Israel for it. You know, this is a new age digital warfare that we are seeing play out. What exactly is your reading of this situation?
Well, you know, in the past there used to be either wars between conventional armies or fights against terrorism. I think that today war has kind of a hybrid nature. We've seen it in Israel because we have been attacked like no other country in the history of modern times, and we have been attacked not only with rockets and missiles but also with cyber attacks. We've been attacked from the air, from the sea, from the land, from tunnels, from very different ways. And at the end of the day, you have to create a situation in which you can not only defend yourself but also be able to surprise your enemy. So, you know, I won't go into details of what Israel is doing or is not doing, but the bottom line is that if we want to achieve stability, we have to show to these terrorists that are using unconventional and unethical and immoral ways of fighting that we can also surprise them.
That's all we have for you. Keep watching NDTV.